Alright, if you want to make your videos look a lot more cinematic and look a lot more professional and just look better in general, you want to get this tool in your toolbox. So today we're talking about the Freewell magnetic VND system. I ordered this system about a year ago on the Indiegogo page that Freewell had put up. It was a work in progress and they were going to send these filters out. Well, they did send them out, and I was one of the first people that ordered it, that contributed to the Indiegogo, and they send us these filters. So I've been using those filters for over a year, and I've used them on multiple projects and I've used them on multiple videos, and I just made one big mistake. I ordered a 67mm thread. And you might say, why is that a mistake if that's the lens that you have? Well, little did I know, I didn't do my research and I made a big noob mistake. What I should have done is ordered the biggest filter size that they have, which would be like an 82, and then I could buy step-up rings so that I can future-proof myself for any future lenses that I might buy. And that's exactly what happened. I upgraded some of my lenses and my 67mm thread no longer fit. So what happened? I had to buy a whole new system. But, you know, it is what it is. I got a whole new system and I still love it. So I just want to let you guys know that before even going any further. If you're thinking about buying any VND filter system or any filter system, buy the biggest size that you have in your kit, or the biggest size that you can get, which is usually like an 82mm, and then you can just buy the step-up ring and that'll save you a lot of money in the long run. So moving forward to the system, Freewell actually killed it with this system. They give you so much for the price. So you get a variety of options when you buy this system. You basically get about 20 different functions out of the system, which is pretty insane. You don't really see that for this price. I don't know if you've been doing your research or anything like that, but if you have, you've probably seen how expensive VND filters can get, and they get really pricey. We'll get into how VND filters work and what they're used for and what I think about this system, but first let's see what comes in the box. So here we have the magnetic filters by Freewell. Let's open this box up. Opens up really nice. Got installation instructions right here. You got a cleaning cloth, which is really nice. Video tutorial card basically explains to you how to use these and what situations to use them in. And you got some more tips right here. This is really cool that they do this. We got inside this nice bougie looking case. This case is nice, but I'm not a big fan of it. It's a little too bulky and sometimes hard to get the filters out of, but it's still nice that they give you a really nice case, and they give you a little hook to hang the case from. Nothing else in here, so we can open up this case. Also magnetic somewhat, and you got your filters in here. You got a little tab that you can pull, and boom, your filters come out like this. This is why I don't really like this case. It's kind of hard to get the filters out of here sometimes, especially without getting your fingers on them, getting your fingerprints on the filters. You have to kind of like pick them out. So even with this, like, you could close it, it's nice, but it's not that efficient if you don't want to get fingerprints on your filters. But we'll start from this. I'll try to do it without getting fingerprints on them. This is the actual VND base and the ring that goes on your camera, which has a magnet that your filters go on. So in here you have the base VND, which you need to be able to use the VND filters with. So that's in there. You got that. Then you got another, this is what I'm talking about. This is a little tricky to get these out. Then you got this VND mist base. I've been using this a lot more as well. Makes everything look a little more cinematic, and obviously it blooms the lights and gives it this very nice dreamy cinematic look. And then we got a 2 to 5 right here. Flip it over, you got the CPL filter. So this is the 2-in-1. It's really awesome. I love that they did this. Then you got the 6 to 9 also. Flip it over and you got an ND32 and also a circular polarizer. Like I said, I love that they did this. And you get a cool cap for when you want to cover your lens and filter. This is also magnetizes, and you can put on the front of your filter. That's pretty much it what you get in the box. So let's talk about what VND filters are, what variable neutral density filters are. You ever walk outside and it's super bright, or you're driving and you can't see because the sun's straight in your face, and you put your sunglasses on? That's basically what you're doing with variable ND filters. You're putting sunglasses on your camera sensor or your lens in order to be able to keep certain settings in your camera. So in film, there's a rule called the 180 rule. So in order to keep your footage looking the most cinematic and natural looking, you want to keep your shutter speed at double what your frame rate is. So for example, if you have 24 frames per second, you want to shoot at 1/50th of a shutter. If you're shooting at 60 frames per second, you want to keep your shutter at 1/25th of a second. You want to double your frame rate, and that's going to give you the most natural looking motion blur, because when you increase your shutter speed, your footage starts to look a lot more jarring, a lot more sharp and unnatural, and sometimes that's good. I know some movies have done it where they're doing like chase scenes or fight scenes and they want to get that jarring look. But for the most part, you want to keep your footage looking natural, so you want to use the 180 rule and double your frame rate with your shutter speed. Another thing that VND filters help you do is they help you keep your aperture low. So say you have a 1.8 or maybe in a 2.8 lens. With the VND filter, you're able to keep your 1.8 aperture and keep that blurry background, that nice creamy bokeh in the back while you're outdoors in the bright sunlight. Normally you wouldn't be able to do that without a VND filter, because you would have to crank your shutter or crank your aperture in order to expose your footage or your image the right way. But with the VND filter, you can keep that depth of field, completely obliterate your background if you want to, and make it look super nice, make it look professional. I guess some people think blurry backgrounds are professional. This system works perfect for like running gun shooters like myself, because sometimes you got your camera on the gimbal or you're shooting handheld and you're changing locations and you're changing lighting situations, and you're changing from inside to outside, and you're able to take the filter off and put it back on and adjust it as you go without having to sit there and unscrew it. Hold on, let me put the other one, screw it back on. You're gonna go back out again, unscrew it, take it off, put it back on, screw it. Just screw it, you know what I mean? Screw it. You don't want to be doing that the whole time. So with this system, basically what you do is you screw on the base onto your lens. Then what you're going to want to do is add the base VND on there. Without this base VND, which is the smaller filter that comes in your kit, you won't be able to do the variable neutral density feature with it. It needs two pieces of glass to turn against each other to be able to increase the strength of the VND. So once you've chosen your VND base, which whether it be the mist or the basic VND base, you're gonna put on your choice of VND, whether it be the 2 to 5 stop or the 6 to 9 stop. You'll line it up with the arrow and turn it until it clicks, and you'll feel it and you'll see the numbers. It'll say it's from 2 to 5 and then it'll stop at those points. The hard stops are pretty clutch, because normally you would get a VND system like this and they spin all the way around the lens, and to the point where you'll get some weird crazy vignette and you'll get an X in your image. This filter pretty much avoids that and stops you from getting the X, because you can be running gun, like I said, and turning that filter, and once it stops and you can't go any farther than that. But it's a good thing, because you won't get that vignetting on it. Now each filter is labeled on the front, so you always know which one you're putting on. Whatever you can read on the front is what filter you have on. So if on the front it says 2 to 5 stops, that's what it is. If you flip it, it'll say CPL. It's a CPL filter. Speaking of flipping the filters, that's another feature this system has. The 2-in-1. The 2 to 5 stop, if you flip it around, turns into a CPL filter. You do have to get rid of the base filter when you put on the CPL filter in order for it to do its function. What that's basically going to do is reduce reflections. So say you're trying to shoot into the windshield of a car, or you're trying to shoot a building and there's all these reflections, or trying to shoot on water and you get the reflections from the sky. You turn that CPL filter and you're going to get rid of a lot of those reflections, which is pretty awesome to have in one filter just by flipping it around. That's pretty crazy. The other filter, the 6 to 9 stop, if you flip that one, you get an ND32, which will give you the strongest amount of light reduction in the system. So maybe you can do some long exposure during the day, or the light streaks at night with the cars driving by and you get light streaks. You do that with like an ND32, and it's also a CPL filter as well. So I guess that one is a 3-in-1. You get the ND32, the CPL, and you get your variable ND. So now the mist filter can come in handy in certain situations. You don't always want to use it. Some people use it all the time. I've been using it on some of these videos just because, I mean, I like the look of it, but you don't always want to use the mist filter. I do a lot of music videos, so sometimes in music videos you want to use that too. Maybe it's a dreamy look, maybe it's a dream sequence or something like that, so that can come in handy. Sometimes it's cool to have it to make some lights look gloomy. At night it makes everything look pretty cool, but that comes down to if that's the image you're going for. So you don't always have to use a mist filter, but you have the option. It's great for music videos, like I said, and creative projects, and maybe for YouTube stuff, you know, make your face look a little softer. Now, some people have asked about color shifting on these filters. I really don't notice too much color shifting. It does make your image a little warmer, but it's nothing that you can't use. And for the most part, as far as I know, almost all variable ND filters will shift colors a little, or maybe shift that color balance a little, but these filters actually look really good. I like the look that it gives, and it's nothing that I can't fix in post if I need to, or fix it in camera, which you probably should fix in camera, but it's nothing that it bothers me to the point where I'm like, I don't want to use them. And also, these VND filters are waterproof, dustproof, stain-proof, sorry, I have to look at the list, stain-proof, scratch resistant, and pretty much they're just proof of, I don't know, just everything pretty much. And I mean, I have put these filters through the test. I've filmed out in the desert, I filmed out in the beach, I filmed out in windy dirt conditions and everything, and they have held up. I haven't got scratches on them or anything like that. I've had my camera dropped with these filters and nothing happened to them. So yeah, I mean, I can see that they are all those proofs, so they do work. So yeah, I mean, what do I think about these filters? As you guys probably already know, I love these filters. I know it might sound dumb that some filters might make you feel a little more creative, but they do. The fact that you can just slap them on there and not have to sit there and unscrew something, which, you know, those little seconds can make you not want to do something. You could be sitting there filming and you're like, oh, we're gonna go inside, and you just have to get the shot right away, and you have to unscrew it, and you're kind of like, nah, I'm just gonna crank my ISO, I'm gonna crank whatever. The fact that you can just take it off and put the other one on real quick, it saves you time and keeps the creative juices flowing. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it keeps your creative juices flowing because you don't have to sit there and make a decision whether you want to unscrew it or not. And yeah, I mean, when you're on the field and when you're doing that stuff, a little unscrewing and screwing back on can kill the vibe, or can kill a little bit of time that you might not have. So who are these for? I mean, who are these filters for? Basically, I mean, content creators for sure. Anybody that films a lot outside, that films outdoor stuff, maybe documentary style, run and gun documentary, vlogging, whatever, like all that stuff. These filters, if you don't have any VND filters, get some. That will change your life, that will change your footage, that will change your content for the good. It's just when your footage just looks good, you feel good, and makes you want to keep going and make more stuff and create more stuff and work with more people. That's just how it is. I know they're a little pricey, but they are worth the price, and you're gonna have them for a long time. You're gonna use this on most of your projects, so you'll get your money's worth. And like always, if you guys want to pick these up, there will be a link in the description, and that helps me out on this channel, so I recommend these. I'm not just trying to sell you this. Anything that I talk about on this channel, it's things that I've used for a long time. Like I said, I've had these filters for a year, and I didn't even make a review on them because I wanted to use them and really put them through the test. So it's been over a year already, and I'm barely making a video on this, and I know there's a bunch of them out there, but I've used these products out in the field, and I've used these products on these videos, and I stand by them. So I'm telling you, get yourself some VND filters. So yeah, you guys, if you guys made it this far, I really appreciate it. If you guys want to check out more videos, click on the videos at the end of this video. That's a lot of video. Anyways, if you guys want to watch more videos, you guys know where to find them. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video thingy. Alright, bye.